We are less than 2 weeks away from what could potentially be a very memorable season for Overwatch. But what exactly can we expect for Season 9? Let's find out. Hey guys, I'm Damesies from the Omnic Post. Overwatch seasons do not only come with different teams, they also come with different impacts on the future of the game. Season 6, for instance, or Invasion as it was called, was a season that added a new hero, masteries, a new game mode, 2 new maps, PvE, it just kept going and going. It was a big one. And I'm not saying that Season 9 is going to be of that same caliber, since we're definitely not getting a new hero, and for as far as I know we're not getting a new game mode either. But there is still a lot to look forward to. So let's start out with the obvious stuff. A new theme, a new battle pass, and a new Mythic skin. 3 things that are very intertwined and that set the mood for the rest of the progression in this season. At BlizzCon back in November, Aaron Keller, the game director for Overwatch, had hinted at some themes for upcoming seasons in 2024. Eldritch Horror, or as I call it, HP Lovecraft stuff. Egyptian mythology, witches and wizards, and the mirror universe, where the heroes become villains and the villains become heroes. While I do love Egyptian mythology, and it kind of feeds my dream of Anubis one day coming back to Overwatch, both the Eldritch Horror and the mirror universe are kind of my favorites. Season 9 is set to go live on February 7th, which is next Wednesday. But you can already see the thumbnail and the title over on the Play Overwatch YouTube channel. And that tells us that Season 9 is called Season 9 Champions. Okay? That kind of confused the hell out of me, because it does not tie in to one of those teams that they teased. But then I looked at the thumbnail and that kind of explains the title. It shows D.Va and what looks like a redesigned diamond tier icon for competitive. So the title is tied into the rework of competitive that we're going to see this season. I'll talk more about that later. It is an interesting approach. Now the question is that also going to be reflected in the team? Are we going to get some type of gladiator deal here? I wouldn't exclude those teased teams just yet. I think, especially since there's only like 6 seasons this whole year, the chances of it being one of those is still pretty high. And when it comes to the Mythic skin, the only thing we know for certain is that it's most likely going to be a support hero, because the other 2 roles already have 3 Mythic skins. Support is the only one with 2 Mythic skins up till now. Kinda makes sense. But other than that, there's no way of predicting who is going to get that skin exactly. It could be anyone that didn't get a skin already. Just take a guess in the comments below. And then the battle pass. Well, during BlizzCon last year, Walter Kong, the big chief of all Overwatch stuff, hinted at some battle pass and shop changes that were going to be discussed at the start of 2024. Well, guess what? We are at the start of 2024. That being said, being talked about does not mean that they're going to implement any of these changes just yet. They might, but we'll see. Like, they could give us that agency over the Mythic skin that we get at the end of the season, for instance. That would be nice. On the other hand, I have high hopes that the changes that they're planning for the battle pass and the shop are going to be of a bigger caliber, and that it is going to be better to roll them out all at the same time. But we'll see. Next up, events. Well, we are most definitely going to get a few events during this season. And since Season 9 starts on February 13th, it could be that the Valentine event is coming back. But on the other hand, having that same event coming back every single year might get boring too at some point. And I also think Hanzo is kind of done being hung from the ceiling like, I don't know, some grumpy Christmas ornament throughout that whole event. So, yeah. Something I've noticed is that in the last few seasons, they have been tying one of the events into the theme of the actual battle pass. Like the Diablo Halloween event that we saw in Season 7. Or the beast hunting mode we got in Season 8. So maybe we're getting a walk like an Egyptian contest. No? Okay. Another thing that is certain is that we're getting another one of those Quickplay hacked test weekends. And no, it's not going to be quicker play, don't worry. It is going to be a different rule set, but it should also help to move that game mode forward in the future. I know that quicker play was not a hit for everybody, but as I said in my previous videos, I've kind of admired the courage to do something like that, and the fact that they involve us in all of this testing. That is important. And talking about involving us in testing, we'll most likely also get a test weekend in which we get to test the next hero for Overwatch, Venture, who is coming in Season 10. I expect that to happen somewhere mid-March. And I can't wait to see him in action. That looks like a very interesting hero. And one change they did not include us in was the balancing changes that they have planned for Season 9. In his latest director blog, Aaron Keller stated, there's a massive set of gameplay and balancing changes coming in Season 9. Many of those changes are aimed at reducing damage spikes in combat. That sounds impactful. No pun intended. He gave one example of the changes that they're planning, and that was that they were giving both tank and DPS also that self-healing passive that supports have, but rather a tuned down version of that passive. So not as potent, which upset a lot of people for no good reason. Because I personally think it's not that big a deal. It is a tuned down self-heal that will start taking one shot out of combat. I'm personally not too worried about that. But above all, guys, as with every other change that they tease, that we read about or that people claim to be the truth, wait till you get to try it for yourself before you start talking shit. I know that there are some creators out there that act like they can predict the outcome of changes like this. But trust me, most of them don't. I mean, even the designers can't really fully comprehend how this is going to turn out. It's really simple. You do not know if it's going to work out till you try it with a large group of people. I could rant hours about this. But seriously, no. Just wait till we get to try it ourselves. And then we'll discuss it. Stop typing. Stop typing! One piece of content that I'm slightly uncertain about is the fact if we're going to get a new map or not. Because every No Heroes season, except for season 5, up till now, has given us a new map. And during BlizzCon they teased the Peruvian map in the slides in the background, cheeky buggers. On top of the fact that we've seen tourist posters of Peru on all the latest maps. But nothing official yet, nothing else has been teased. But what we do have a lot of official details on is the competitive rework. They talked about it at length during BlizzCon, and I was actually expecting another deep dive in Aaron's latest developer blog, but that was going to happen last Friday, and for very understandable reasons that did not get published. Aaron sent a tweet last Thursday announcing that he's going to be picking up the director's takes again, starting next week. But the competitive rework is one of the most anticipated features that we've seen since season 6, or maybe even since launch. But what will be included in this competitive rework? First off, something you'll be happy to hear, but there's going to be a soft rank reset, in the sense that your MMR will not be reset, but your SR, like we used to call it, will start anew. And that means that you'll have to do placement matches, 10 of them, for every role. Now, Gavin Winter, who is one of the people that is working on this new system, shared that most people will place a little lower than they ended up at the end of Season 8. But that by the end of the season, if they keep playing, they should end up higher than they ever did. Now, this rank reset is not going to happen every season. At BlizzCon, they were talking about a yearly rotation, but I think they're still deliberating what they're going to do with that exactly. And with that reset, we'll get new rewards. Your current competitive points will become legacy competitive points. And we're going to earn new competitive points, and we're going to earn new competitive points starting with Season 9. And we're going to use those competitive points to get a new tier of weapons called Emerald weapons. Green weapons. I don't like green. But that is a me problem. And an Oscar the Grouch problem. Because he's green from Sesame Street, you know? You know it, never mind. People have asked me if they will be able to buy golden weapons with the new coins, and the best answer I can give you is I have no idea. I have to wait and find out. But I really hope so, because I do not want green weapons. Now, as you start climbing the ladder, you'll notice that there's a new rank all the way at the top, just above Grandmaster, which is called Ultimate. It's for those special people. But that also explains why most people will end up a little higher at the end of this season. There's just more ranks. It's not like it's magically going to make you better. But this new rank system is definitely going to improve your experience while playing ranked. Because after every single match, you're going to see how you went up or down and why that happened. You won't have to wait 5 wins or 15 losses. You'll know as soon as that play of the game is over. You'll also see what impacted the speed at which you bumped up or down. Stuff like a winning streak, a losing streak, winning against odds. There's a lot of things that can influence your progression, and you'll know all of it. So basically, with this system, for once and for all, you'll know that it is a you problem. Now seriously, that transparency is something that players have been asking for a really long time. People missed it ever since they ditched SR. But this is better than SR, because SR was such an arbitrary number. It was like someone was telling you you were pencil out of cucumber. What? No, seriously, I'm not having a stroke, I think. I generally think that this is going to help a lot of people to understand and to fight that frustration that you sometimes feel. Now, one thing. They said at BlizzCon that they were going to remove the tier restrictions on groups, meaning that you can group up with a bronze and a diamond player. That would become what they call a white group, and you would be pitched against other white groups. The thing is, they also said at BlizzCon that this was not happening in Season 9, that would be coming later. A lot of people seem to have missed that. But be patient, my friends. It is coming. That being said, there is a lot to look forward to in Season 9. And we only know half of it, so yeah, I'm kind of excited. Anyways, tell me, what feature of Season 9 are you looking forward to the most? Let me know in the comments. A big thank you to my patrons for their support. You guys are legends. And you too can become part of the Omnic Post family over on patreon.com/theomnicpost. Check out this video I made earlier this week on why I think PvE might be completely cancelled. But above all, my friends, make sure to subscribe. Take care of yourself, take care of each other. Bye bye.